I mess up. Hey my friend, what's up? Dickon KRR. I guess it's a long story, but the thought process. Oh, nice. Well, actually, there's a on my channel. There's a cool video anyway. You can watch after the live stream of me teaching a few concepts to start off with, because I think people need you need a start, right? You need something to hang on to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just make it a little bit better here. Is this better? Maybe it is. It's basically what I call chromatic transformation. So this is in C. All right, so maybe a good start, I don't know, there's many. What I call chromatic transformations means you know a scale, and then you do something with it according to a formula. For example, when I have this simple C minor lick, right? That's a very classic lick, right? But it's cool. It's a one fret gap. You can always close that gap by doing this. That's not it yet. That's not it yet. Wait. And then I typically close it by. So you just find these. That's like. Anyway, that Lenny Kravitz thing. Well, if you find that lick in minor, you can really always do. Right? That's the move, right? That's a cool chromatic move, no? Now you can go, and there's many variations of that one. So first learn that one, and then there's many cool variations, like you can already make it more jazzy. So we start with, and then you could even insert the major sevenths, like nice, no? And then maybe one final variation would be place this in front of it. Now we have. And then again do that thing. I hope that helps. Maybe that's just something to start with, right? And to make sure, my friends, this is I'm especially here today because if you're a little bit following my brand, today is the last day in my launch week of my new course. It's not a course, I'm calling it the method, and it's based around the idea that to learn fusion guitar is basically to learn little moves, building blocks. So when I was learning and getting better at fusion guitar, I was always appreciating very small ideas. For example, if we're in C here, backing track is in C, and it's C Dorian. I can go. Well, that's what I call a fusion building block. Just a few notes that sounds really interesting, and it's not what a typical rock player would do. Nice, no? And then maybe another building block in that zone too might be, that's the chromatic one. It's another building block. So the method is about learning hundreds of these little building blocks, and I'm giving you 20 in each zone. So these are the things that I've been researching and transcribing for 15 years straight. I went back to all my books and things that I know and play at, and make sure I'm teaching these essential little ones. Because I don't believe in me teaching you long, challenging lines. I want you to learn these small, like a long sentence, like I'm talking, I'm doing sentences. Sentences are based on words. You have to learn the words first before you can speak fusion, right? So, and then if I do, now I can already combine those two. Or, let's see. Yeah, it takes a while. It's a frustrating thing. That's why my YouTube video has me like, I hate chromatics, because it's for my students most of the time a frustrating thing. Because first of all, the definition is, oh, you can play every note. And then the second definition is fill in the gaps. No, that's so unuseful. I mean, that's so unuseful. So you're like, I mean, what is that? Or maybe a 2-fret gap. That's not chromatic playing, and all the pros know that. And I'm a teacher, so my job is to give you the solutions. I mean, even for a 2-fret gap, I mean, the solutions are all. People before us have done beautiful chromatic lines for 1 million years. Not 1 million, but you know what I mean. At least since the 1930s. So it's just stupid to be here in 2020. I was there too. For years I was like, how can I, what are the formulas? So, and there's only 10 or 12 formulas, and I've been doing this in private lessons. A lot of that's like when I'm teaching private, that this is number one. Tommy, teach me your chromatic stuff. And like, that's not random, you know. Yeah, I'm filling in the blanks. But I'm filling them up with a strategy, right? That's a strategy. Or, right, I'm placing that in front of it, right? Alright, let's do another variation. I'm having fun. So why not, instead of going on the string above, you can stay on the string and move back up after the descent. So you can go. I might turn the camera a little bit more. I mean, that's even better. So. Nice, no? That's much more musical. That's at least something practical you can just start implementing today and right now. That's what teachers should be doing. Not like I've seen a lot of teachers like giving definitions and blah blah, and then licks that totally suck. Then you know you got a bad teacher. Yeah, it totally is. So just make sure, my friend, I don't want to market or promote too much, but it's effectively, that's why I'm here for the moment. It's my last day. So if you like these building blocks or that idea, because there's definitely a lot of these little things in the fusion identity, you should check it out, really. And I say should, because noticing that it's kind of resonating, then it's not for free, right? You have to spend money. I have to make a living. But then after the live session or something, or maybe copy paste the link already from the chat so you have it. It's in my stories, it's on my email list. It's not on my website yet because it's a launch, it's a new product. But it teaches you these small things, and of course there's chromatic stuff in there too in that course. like probably these things are in there because I'm calling these mini moves. That was my first name years ago. Now I'm calling it building blocks. They're small. Here's another one. Why not? Also nice, no? Ah. There's a lot of them, of course, but when I'm live, I always want to at least give you one takeaway. So make sure to locate that super rock lick. Every rock player knows that one. You are not a rock player. If you don't know that lick, get out of here. Right? Hey Eric, what's up, my friend? Yeah, sure. I'll take some time. I think I recognize your name. I think you are. You're kind of in my universe. I don't know where. Maybe Patreon, or maybe you have one of my courses. I don't know, Eric. It's too much to. So the third, you mean using the third for the arpeggio? Do you mean the third note of an arpeggio, or do you mean the absolute super formula for superimpositioning, and that is using the third arpeggio in all the arpeggios you can use it, the third one is always the best. I've been telling this for years, but maybe it's that. And the other thing is, of course, the third note. Or you mean the minor or the major third of the home key of the or maybe the third note in the arpeggio you're targeting. Maybe you're talking about key changes. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing you now completely. Yeah, sure. So let me give you an example. So let's maybe have a C7, Why not? Let's have a C, or you want to have a minor, a major, or a dominant chord. Actually, it doesn't really matter because the formula is the same. Maybe we start with minor chords. Most rock guitar players are minor. I'm like generalizing, right? Rock players are minor. So here's C minor, and if we say minor, in general we mean Dorian. Never forget that, right? Our default scale in jazz and fusion, when it's minor and it's standalone chord, it's not functional harmony, it's Dorian. So then pretty easy, right? We just count 3 notes up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Hey Tim. Hey man. So we just count 3 notes up. It's easy, right? Well, that note happens to be an E flat. Doesn't matter what note it is. I don't care what note it is. But if you start counting in modes, you have Dorian, C Dorian equals D Phrygian equals E flat Lydian. That's interesting. So I'm gonna just find that note for a moment here. I can. And the Lydian mode generates, I always say, major 7 arpeggios, right? So that's logic. So yeah, on that third note, which is an E flat, corresponds with an E flat Lydian. Well, an E flat Lydian, we have to think with arpeggio, what kind of an arpeggio an E flat Lydian scale generates, and to find that answer is just think about 1, 3, 5, and 7. So I'm gonna stay here for a moment just to make sure you got this. So this is the 1 for the E flat. Now the E flat is a 1, yeah, not C. The third, well, it's an E flat Lydian, so the third is here. The fifth It's a Lydian, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have, and the 7th. Right, it's a major 7 arpeggio, so that sounds wonderful over a C minor. So it's always the best arpeggio. If you build the arpeggio on the 3rd note of any scale, you get the best arpeggio. So I'll demonstrate. Right, so that beautiful sound, no? Now that rule works over any chord, so I can have not a C minor chord, but a C major. Same thing, so a C major in jazz and fusion, when it's a standalone chord, it's an Ionian. Same logic. Let's look for the 3rd note of that scale. Oh, it's an E. And I'm gonna think again. C Ionian, D Dorian, E Phrygian. So so an E Phrygian. Now an E Phrygian scale generates minor 7 chords because a Phrygian scale has a minor 3rd, has a normal 5th, and has a minor 7th. So here's my C major again. Here's my E note again. I'm always doing it from the 5th string because I prefer the arpeggios built from the 5th string with the root note. So now I have. So I'm playing an E minor 7 over that C major 7. Works beautiful. Nice, no? Last example, C7. Might be a blues, I don't know, but let's have a C7. Let's have a static C7, like Going Home Forever. Right, so again, superimpositioning. A C7 or a dominant chord needs the Mixolydian scale. Same rule, find the 3rd note. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's an E again. So let me find that E also here. Right, so we have perfectly fine. And let's figure out what mode we have. So we have C Mixolydian equals D, Aeolian equals E, Locrian. Locrian scale is pretty special because a Locrian scale has a minor 3rd, but has also a flat 5. So now I have. That's also a minor 7th. So now the arpeggio we have is right. So if I play it here, starting from an E here, that's what we call a minor 7th flat 5 because it has a flat 5, and it's also, or I have diminished arpeggio. That's beautiful over a dominant. Right? That's basically it, right? That's just making sure to prioritize the arpeggio build on the third degree. So that's a very good start to start to superimpose arpeggios, meaning you're not playing the home arpeggio. I could play a C7 arpeggio over a C7 chord. Never play arpeggios just up and down, I'm sorry guys. I mostly play lines. So you could play a C7 line or arpeggio based line over a C7, but that's not that cool, right? But if you just go a little bit in that direction, for example, it's always a good arpeggio there. Built from the third degree, you have gold, right? So that's kind of the thing here. Lydian dominant. It's nice, no? Anyway. All right, my friends. So, but the fusion method is in its last day. It's in the email. It's on my stories in Instagram. It's here. You can just copy it. Definitely. But that new method, guys, that I'm promoting and which is in its last day is learning the smallest building blocks. I went back to what my students are telling past years, and they're always saying, Tommy, your lessons are too advanced, a lot of it. So I went back and really figure out how did I learn, what were the breakthroughs for me in the past 15 years. And I think most of the time came from learning these small ideas. Again, like if you're in C minor, here's a building block. So like, that's a building block. That's what I call a fusion building block. Why? Because what if I gave you another one? Maybe, it's a bit chromatic, but why not? We're learning fusion guitar, so we need to get used to a little bit of chromaticism. Now we have two building blocks. Let's see what happens when I combine them. And that's what I found out over the years, guys. I was always learning these little moves, mini moves, small blocks. I was transcribing, I've like hundreds and hundreds transcriptions of Greg Howe solos, and I was always circling, literally with this thing, circling in my own handwritten tabs. Oh, what a cool move! Again, there's so many examples. Here's C minor again. Even the smallest thing, for example, right? We do the root note, C, and I do. What if I do... Nice, no? You could say, Tommy, are you really charging money for a course that has only licks of 4 notes? Yeah, because it's important. It truly is. Because if you don't... I mean, rock players don't do that, right? That's why they sound rock, and I love rock. I've been playing rock for 15 years. What if you want to sound a little bit more advanced or sophisticated or mature or sexy? I don't know. Or Greg Howie? I don't know. Call it what you want, but it's such an important mini move or building block because that connects well to an arpeggio. So now I can go. course, that's a longer line that followed, but don't ignore that. It's about that smallest move here. People always ask me, it's even in this chat, I think, what are you thinking when you're improvising? I don't think. I've programmed my fingers through the many years I researched fusion guitar. Now I know all these little moves. And that's kind of like a Lego box, if you know the toys. I just have this big Lego box of all these little moves, and my brain connects them. And don't worry, your brain will too. Once you know all these little premium, all those little building blocks, you guys will automatically connect them with you. It's like speaking a language. If you don't know the words, you'll never be able to speak the language. I'm talking to you now, I'm talking big sentences, I'm talking all the time. Basically, I'm using words. If I don't know the words, how am I going to make a sentence, right? See, I don't think about that. I probably know, and I know, and I know, I don't know. I can connect it now. So that's why I came up with that method, my friends. Nothing more than that. It looks simple, right? Fusion identity method, like, hey, here's Tommy just giving you 100 building blocks. There's 20 in each zone, right? It's just C minor. Each of these, in each of these zones, right? Or the 5 pentatonic zones, it's the same. I'm always seeing chords, but if you don't see chords too well, no worries. Just make sure you see the 5 pentatonic fingerings well. Right, these 5 zones. And then I'm backing you up with 20 ideas, right? I think there's even one in there as small as... Wow. I never did that as a rock player. You would say like, Tommy, that's... You charge $97 for that? Well, it's powerful, my friend, because... See, it was in there. Here it is again. It's a nice move. No, it's such... I love it, man. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Well, no, in this case, no. We have to be careful. So it is a... you mean the backing track, or... So what I'm teaching here is kind of C Dorian, right? Kind of, this is what I'm hearing, or what I'm doing. That's definitely C Dorian, right? The string, yeah. So it's a C Dorian, which is actually related more to a B flat major. You're talking about the relationship between C Ionian and A Aeolian, which are the natural major and minor, right? Which is true. If you go 3 frets down, you always get the related minor. Those are what we call natural major and natural minor. C Ionian is natural major, A Aeolian is natural minor, and C Ionian is natural major. They are pretty useless in fusion and less in functional. No, not pretty useless. but it's more in functional harmony, I would say. One's in fusion guitar, when you have like a major chord going on, might be a Lydian vibe going on. But if you have your classic 2-5-1s going on, that goes to C Ionian, which is the same as A Aeolian, you're right. Right. 2-5-1. I spent a year on 2-5-1 alone. But that's for me kind of really the more advanced stuff, my friends. Don't worry about that now. It's cool to look at, but you're learning nothing for that. So for now, I think it's the best I can do is refer to you to my Fusion Identity. It's in its last day. There is $175, my friends, dollars of bonus content because it's a launch, but it's in its last day. So today at midnight, you might click that link and it's going to go to a sorry page. Midnight Pacific time. So for my friends in the US, they're midnight, okay? So it won't be there tomorrow. It's not on the website, it's nowhere. It's gonna appear on the website in January, but really guys, take that link, copy paste it, right? Grab it and then check it out after because I'm finishing the live stream any moment now. And just check it out. You'll see a long video of me explaining. You see some videos of early access students talking about their results with the course. There's a frequently asked questions section. There's a money back guarantee, right? You don't have to buy, these days, you don't have to buy anything online unless people give you a money back, right? So you buy the course, you send me an email within 2 days of purchase, and I'll refund your money, right? No problems. I would be the same, right? If you don't know me, like, what is this guy? $97? I mean, even if he promised me heaven, right? You should still get your money back if you don't like it. So that's of course, but trust me, I think you'll like it because it's a lot of people are looking for that, I would say almost instant vocabulary, like instant results. That's kind of the culture we live in now. I think we are all rushed. And I get it. I don't think you need, like me, 15 years to get it. When now there's so many teachers online. Like 20 years ago, we wouldn't be doing this, right? It's all technology. You would be sitting there at home, frustrated maybe, like, I want to learn chromatic stuff, right? You're frustrated, you need to go to a teacher in your town and he sucks maybe. Or he only knows blues, I don't know. So that's wonderful, no? That today you can go online, and if you're lucky at least, when you find someone who has a method that resonates with you, that you need right now, that's wonderful. I mean, wow. I mean, there's negative stuff on the internet too. It has its problems, as you know. The fact that you can come here, find me, and say like, I'm gonna click that link, bam, you're on a nice landing page, and before you know it, you have a new method, you have a new course that is exactly what you need. Isn't that crazy? I think that's crazy. I mean, there's no excuse anymore these days to progress or find what you need, especially progress. There's no, I mean, it's really stupid to try to do this on your own when there's really people like myself probably that I probably am right now where you want to be, right? And I was not there in 15 years ago. I mean, I'm rambling on, I guess, but if you want to go on a path and you don't know the way, you gotta ask the people that are coming back, right? That's a Chinese proverb or something, but there's only two people on the planet. I think there's people that get this and say like, I'm gonna seek out a mentor, and then there's the rest. They get stuck and they get left behind. But guys, I work for a big company too. You know, I don't work in the music business, so I've always had mentors. I always had good trainings. I spent over $4,000 on Greg Howe. So I was his private student for years. I was like, this man knows something, right? And then I transcribed for years, and it's not that effective. And lessons with Greg, that's financially something you have to think about. But I was such a big fan that kind of found the money. My course is less expensive, right? But there's nothing wrong with just enjoying my YouTube stuff, my friends. That's free. There's nothing wrong, and you'll definitely pick up something every week. You go to my channel, you'll definitely pick something up. That's totally fine. I totally respect everybody's financial situation, right? And you do that. But we all know once there's a premium course or a premium educational product, something you pay, I mean, you know it's better, you know it's faster, you know it's more focused, you know it's everything in one nice place, you know, it's with all the downloads of the world. It's shot in 4K. So something to think about. I was in the middle of that line and my brain was saying, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you doing? That's the alter scale, my friends. No, that's not good. That's not good. Leads very well back to 1. All right, my friends, that's it for me. My Fusion Identity offer ends tonight. Right, it's gonna be gone, my friends. So watch out. Grab that link while you can, because I'm closing the stream. Check it out. Check it out if you really wanna get my language, that vocabulary, not my, but Fusion vocabulary in small chunks that you can straight up play, then connect. It's a wonderful method. It's coming. It's here today as a launch. It's going to be back in January on my website. But if you need it now and you want all the bonus content that I have, just sign up right now. All right, my friends. Bye.